In this video, I'm going to show you how to read a Turnitin report. A Turnitin Originality Report checks students' written work and compares it to text on the internet, in other work previously submitted to Turnitin, or in other electronic academic journals and databases. Any matches found will be highlighted and annotated to show the original source. To access, simply log into your Moodle course site and head over to your assessment area. At this point, I don't need to log into Turnitin because this view actually provides all that I need to review the similarity percentages. Alternatively, I can log in to Turnitin as a teacher, and this view is where I'll see a more detailed view on each student assessment. But I actually prefer the Moodle view because it's quick and easy. I'm now going to scroll through the assessments and use the colour coding to determine if there are any assignments that might trigger a need for further investigation. So we can see here that this assignment has a 52% similarity match, and that signals an alarm to me, whereas I'm not necessarily concerned about the 4, 10 and 16%. There is no specific percentage in the similarity report that triggers plagiarism. It's just a report that provides some information that needs your analysis and academic judgment. It should be read in the context of your assessment task. For other assessment tasks where you may have asked students to quote half a dozen authoritative sources, then you may very well be concerned with a similarity score of only 4%. Not that they haven't referenced correctly, but that they haven't referenced at all. Let's now further explore why this particular student has a similarity score of 52%. It's just a matter of clicking on the similarity link, and that will log us into the Turnitin database. The Similarity Index details the percentage of the essay that matches the Turnitin search. Therefore, this percent is saying that 53% of this essay matches other searches in the database. On the left, we have the document viewer, where you can review the essay in its original format, and the sources that match to the essay are listed on the right. The sources with the highest percent matches are listed first. Note though, they are the best sources and not necessarily the exact source used by the student. To get the full range of sources, it's just a matter of clicking on this All Sources button on the top here, and that will provide a list. You can click on the source to highlight its location in the student's essay. The major concern in terms of this student's work is the one located up the top here, and it says there's a match of 24%. That's quite considerable. So what we would do is we would scroll through the student's work, and we'd look for big blocks of text that weren't referenced. So there's a little bit there, it has a little bit of referencing. Okay, here's a big block here. Further big block. Again, the entire conclusion looks like it's been lifted from perhaps another student paper. Now we need to do a little bit of exploration about where this text has actually been lifted from. So if we come up here, and we'll view the match breakdown. So back over on the document viewer side, we see here the red indicates that that is the copied bit from another assessment, it looks. And of course that makes sense because that's the assessment title, the assessment task, the unit code, the lecturer, so all of that is appropriate. So the one that I had the greatest concern about was the conclusion here. So if we go into the full source view, we'll be able to see in a little bit more detail. What we can actually see is the matching. So the colour red is actually matching that in the original assessment task. So that's a direct similarity. In fact, you can actually see here that this is the same student, and he has actually used this concluding paragraph in another assignment in another course. In terms of other Turnitin functionality, you can personalize the matches identified by adding filters to the report, such as excluding quoted text, bibliographic material, and changing the size of possible text matches. In the top right, using the arrows, you can easily move backwards and forwards to the next or the previous student's work. Please note that there's also some other functionality which is greyed out, and we don't actually have that within CQ at the moment, but this is coming. Just some takeaway messages to finish up. Turnitin isn't infallible. There isn't a target score. Use your academic judgment. Consult the plagiarism policy if you need to. Talk with your dean, your deputy dean, a peer, or ask someone from Learning and Teaching Services.